Okay, so it's still October 1st. That video is converting. I may just throw this in as one of those, you know, couple of minutes or couple of second videos. Obviously, I'm filling up the jars here. It says raw black walnut husk, right? This is what this all is, right? This is the raw. I'm going to put the word raw in there, right? Whoops, sorry. Raw English walnut. I don't just, you can see the difference in color. Why I'm here is I want to point out that as this stuff is sitting in the jar, it's getting darker. So when you read, if you look up on black walnut and its use in terms of ink, it goes on paper, specific papers more so, and the color of the ink will just get darker and darker and darker over a period of time. This is what I'm finding here. This is getting darker as it's going into the jar, even though the husks were basically green and raw when they were dehydrated. Now, Andre had a little accident. Oh, there goes the camera. Andre had a little accident. There we go. And he knocked over my paint pot. So I'm glad I saved some stain, because that's all we have left. And it's spilt, okay? So it's been washed away. Anyway, at the bottom of the pot was this, which I am going to let it dehydrate and grind it up. And if you notice, it's extremely black, because those are the ones with the nails in it in terms of comparison in color. Can you see that? Okay. All I did was take about a little, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon, not even a teaspoon, of the 99% alcohol, and I just stuck it in there, and I'm going to keep stirring it so to kind of let the water start to evaporate, and then eventually I'll probably put it into a dehydrator and then give it a good dry and then grind it up, and this will be, you'll see the difference. Okay, so not factoring in those black walnut husks, or shells I should say, we have about we have more than 1,700 English walnut shells. And I have more that the raccoon, when raccoon was in the X Club there, didn't rip apart. I still have another 1 or 2 more bags. So anyway, we've got over 2,000 walnut shells. But myself, personally, this year, I did over 1,700. Okay? There's the salmon. Now, when you're dehydrating it, I read that you should take a paper towel and blot the oil. You can see it's oily, right? So anyway, I didn't have paper towel, so I'm just putting mine in the fridge, and I already gave one to my daughter who would enjoy that one, right? And we're just going to keep ours in the fridge. You have up to what, about 3 months to eat it. There's all the walnuts. You can see it's a fair amount. Full. That's about 2 cups on the bottom of that, and then that's full. And then there's that, which I'll chop up, and I'm going to throw them all in there and mix it all up, and then I'm going to just start vacuum sealing that. So I'll probably be vacuum sealing within another day or so. As you can see, this is coming about nicely. Once this jar is empty, I'm going to take this walnut husk, which is raw black walnut husk, and put it in this jar, because that jar fits really nice in this box. If you notice, I'm putting raw walnut stain, raw. Here we got, let's see, cooked, right, and so on and so on. I'm making a little extra for my son, because my son went to college to become an art teacher. He really wanted to become one. So I don't know, maybe one day, you never know. So there's that. I'm making him a little, I'll put something for that. I don't know, we'll see. Hold on. And oh yes, this is, the doctor said about 3 weeks for this. But to be honest with you people, I went to the doctor, 3 nights ago? And there's a big difference today. I can really feel it. I've been using aloe vera throughout the day. Not so much now because it's not so itchy and dry, right? And a little bit of polysporin at night. Last night I put the two fingers together. Night before I slept with them open, right, to give it some air. You know, I was tired, so I just went to sleep. So it's healing really, really nice. Again, I contribute the black walnut to that. I don't think it's just my immune system, because my immune system is actually pretty low, right? So besides that point, that's, I don't know how many cups of walnuts, but I guess we'll find out. Oh. Okay, people. So it's October 5th, 2016. My oh my, how time flies, right? Okay, I got this thing plugged in. So I'm always a little nervous, right? Because we know the battery kicks out now too, right? So I'll make this quick. What's important here is that we finish the job, right? And as I'm going back and forth every day to people to the tree, right? Yesterday, Andre and I found like something like 25 walnuts, black walnuts. So I will be husking them today at some point and dehydrating their husks and saving it for a rainy day for whatever purpose. Do you see that jar right there? That was the last time I worked with these walnuts. I'll dig up the old videos and I'll put a link to it. And it's still sitting in the jar, the paint stain, whatever you want to call it. And I have a couple more underneath my bathroom sink. So, and this one here has no alcohol in it, but I filled it up pretty much close to the rim and it hasn't molded, right? So it doesn't necessarily need to have alcohol in it, as long as you take out all the air. But if you're going to make an ink that's going to have any air spacage, then it's recommended to put the alcohol in, right? So that will be paint for the hen house area that we're going to turn into a greenhouse. This here is the stuff that was in the bottom of the cooking pot that cooked outside. And I have one more. I did put slightly a little bit of the 99% alcohol in it, simply because it sat outside in a pot for a while, and you know, all the sediments went down to the bottom, and then Andre knocked over the shelf and spilt the pot, and you know, all the ink spilled off into the porch and got washed away, but the sediment still remained at the bottom. So I took out as much liquid as I could, and then I put in, I don't know, a capful or two, like a quarter teaspoon or something. Maybe first I did like a quarter teaspoon, stirred it around, let it sit out for a day or two, and then I put another quarter teaspoon in there, because when you put in, you don't want alcohol going into a heat source, right? So I had to let the alcohol kind of evaporate for a day or two, and then I put it in there, and you can see that it's black. That's what we want. That's why you put the nails in the cooking pot, right? The rusty nails, because that's what it helps to do. It helps to set the color, okay? And because black walnut has a natural color set, I don't know how to pronounce the name, you get the double effect on it. So all I'm saying is, this is what I'm doing right now. Then I have to go outside and get out into that moldy shed, right? And I gotta put Elsie outside in this cat house, boots or something, because I don't know, Elsie needs to go to the pound. She's spraying on my stuff, people. She's some kind of alpha cat, thinks she can go do what she wants, and it's driving me nuts. But in the meantime, this is what I'm working on. And I'm also working on some non-profit stuff that I'm going to try and bring out into the wipeout boards. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upload this. Now, I did give my landlady some walnuts, as you can see. And I gave her some walnuts to plant that I specifically left aside, that I was going to go sneak off with somewhere with Andre, maybe in the green belt, and try and hide a few walnuts, right, so that the trees will survive, right? Because, you know, you want, it's a very rare to see a black walnut, right? Hold on. Okay, so as I was saying, it's very rare to find an actual black walnut tree, right? And it's a natural source of healing agents, right? Or disinfectant, whichever you prefer. And it produces lots of art supplies, right? So anyway, as I was saying, I had a few of these off to the side with the Old English and the black walnut that Andre and I was hoping that we could go plant someplace, just so that maybe one or two will catch and it won't die out. Because 54 years is a long time to wait to see an actual black walnut tree. So I'd call that pretty rare. So in light of that, I think what I'm going to do is the next time I go out, which is soon, because I have to go out, right? I have to walk, people. It makes me twice as tired. But besides that point, I'm going to stop off at City Hall, and I'm going to see if there's a way I can get this tree designated as a rare species and protected before somebody just comes down and rips it out of the ground and chops it all up and forgets about it and cashes in on its wood, right? And even if that happens, people, a couple of walnut seeds from the black walnut, there's more than a couple, and some old English walnut trees with their nuts, right, went to somebody that's going to try and plant them. So I guess the black walnut legacy lives on.